Hello everyone and welcome to the 14th annual year of the Show Jumping Awards Ball. We're here this evening at the Killashee House Hotel in Naas, County Kildare. We're going to give to you tonight 20 awards represented by Show Jumping Ireland and presented by Brendan McCardle. Lots of the awards will come across as Children and Horses, Owner Awards, Amateur Awards, Rider Awards and many, many more. I hope you look forward to some of the spectacular views we have of some of the footage put together of 2011.
Good evening again. I hope you enjoyed your starter. We have a number of awards to go through this evening, but before we go any further, I'd like to call on James Kernan to give his address.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the 2011 Show Jumpers Club Ball, an award sponsored by the Show Jumpers Club, Show Jumping Ireland and Horseboard Ireland. I am delighted to see a fantastic turnout tonight as every cent raised here goes to running the spring tour each year. Let me start by saying that despite the economic climate, this year's spring tour was hugely successful and has grown fivefold in size since its inception as the Geedam Spring Tour back in 2005. This year sees some changes in the tour as we bid farewell to John and Mary Burke, who have been our sponsors for the last 2 years through their stallion Chip Us In. Our deep gratitude goes to them for their support and we wish them every success for the future. I also bid a hearty welcome to Bluegrass Feeds, who are our new title sponsors for 2012. Not only do I thank them so much for their participation, but wish them every success with their involvement in what is now to be known as the Bluegrass Spring Tour. One other change, and I see in front of me a strong representation from the West, is that the tour is going west for the first time in 6 years, where a leg of the series will be hosted by Clare Morris Equestrian. So I wish them the best of luck for the coming season and expect that the tour will be supported greatly in the region. We have been continuously examining how we can make the Show Jumpers Club an even more effective forum that is demonstrated to be since it was formed in 1998, and we are going to formulate a better working model in 2012. To that end, I would like to see a big turnout at our AGM on the 7th of February next, where we can get our views, which is our mandate, and from which we can continue in successful dialogue with Horseboard Ireland, Show Jumping Ireland and the Royal Dublin Society. This is your club. This is where you, the riders, the owners and supporters of the sport of show jumping, can participate in making a difference. I would also like to express my personal thanks to our committee, who worked very hard on a voluntary basis to improve our sport in many dynamics and who have been very gracious in their support of me, having had to follow in the footsteps of Edward Doyle and previously his brother Jack Doyle, who have both served as chairman to tremendous effects in recent times. I must give special mention to Maureen Bagnall and Susie Kelly for their endeavours in organising this great night, tonight without whom it would not be possible to make this the night that it is. I would also like to thank the Spring Tour Coordinator, who works as an ongoing effort throughout the season, even though the tour is done and dusted by the end of April. We are very fortunate to have such a knowledgeable and hard-working person in Sheila White, who works in the man behind the scenes to ensure the tour's success. We are also very unfortunate to have support sponsors who give her generously of their time and resources. This year saw the introduction of an incentive to reward the leading rider who is a member of the Show Jumpers Club with a pair of Sergio Grasso made-to-measure boots and sponsored by Cashel House Salary. TRI, who are well established with the National and Premier Grand Prix Series, presentations of each round to the leading young rider of today. We also acknowledge the support given by Dara Equestrian, who have been with the Spring Tour since the first series ran in 2005. To all of the show and their sponsors, thank you, and being a show organiser myself, I know the full well the level of commitment that is required to ensure quality sport and facilities. To Horse Sport Ireland and Show Jumping Ireland, thank you for believing in the veracity and the requirement of our initiative and your financial support, which underpins the Spring Tour to a huge extent. And finally, thanks to all of you, the competitors, owners, course builders, judges and stewards. We are indebted for your input and appreciate the sport which you helped to produce. Remember, this is your sport and you have a vote that is listened to in the Show Jumpers Club. All you have to do is become a member to ensure that this voice doesn't become mute. And this year we brought our membership down to €30, and it's not just open to riders, it's open to owners and supporters. And the more members we have, the stronger our club will become. So, with nothing else to do, please enjoy your evening and support the raffle. It's all going to a good cause, back into our sport. Thank you very much. All right.
This year, they signed a 3-year deal with Show Jumping Ireland as sponsors of the Premier Series and the National Grand Prix League. And to mark this year's first year's involvement, Show Jumping Ireland would like to make a special presentation to TRM. I'd like to call for Philip Masterson to accept it on behalf of his team. Named the league prize with Adele Kelly in second and Gemma Drennan in third place. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sinead Thompson and Gemma Drennan. Sorry, picture. Can you stand again? So Sinead Thompson, one of the keen amateurs on the circuit, coached by her husband Andrew, or maybe you're coaching him. And we've got Gemma as well. Congratulations, Gemma. I don't think Adele Kelly is here this evening, but her prize is on our way back. The young riders, the junior, the children. Of course, medals is what counts, and we had a gold medal this year at the Europeans. Please welcome Commandant John Lenningham. John, of course, great international competitor. And gets a lovely piece of crystal from Damien MacDonald. A lot of shows have upped their game over the past 12 months, and I think it was a difficult decision for the judges when they decided on the show of the year for 2011 goes to the Louth show, of course, the Horseware Ireland Louth County show. I'd like to call Brendan Murphy to come forward to accept the presentation on behalf of the committee. The life of a groom is not an easy one. Now add a lorry driver, a coach, a show organiser, a salesperson, the boss really, into it all, and you've one of the hardest working ladies on the national circuit. This lady can be seen at shows all over the country, from Cork to Cavan and everywhere else in between, tending to all the needs of their many horses, which are always impeccably turned out. She looks after her sister Sinead, has become one of the most familiar faces around the county, and she is this year's Groom of the Year, which is Ona Kennedy. And let's see some of her, well, some good plats there. Let's hear it for Ona Kennedy. Well, he certainly loves Charlie. He's the Amateur of the Year, Martin Wilson. Well done, Martin. Actually, you'll hear from the video that he said Charlie is retiring from Dublin only. So that's a bit of a cheat, that one. The poor horse, but well done. Many congratulations. He's been a real champion at Dublin. Martin Wilson and Database. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Jared Clark. So Jared, of course, hugely talented rider. We look forward to seeing him in action over the next 12 months. The winner of the Chipperson Spring Tour. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Peter Smith. So well done to Peter, being the National Grand Prix and Autumn Grand Prix champion for 2011. Well, he certainly won the big checks this year. Let's hear it for Eddie Maloney. What a fantastic run of form Eddie is having. Also, he won the Grand Prix at Tattersalls this year with Tom McGurk's Macushla R. And many success to him. So well done to Eddie Maloney. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Peter Smith. So well done to Peter, being the National Grand Prix and Autumn Grand Prix champion for 2011. So the National Grand Prix League owner is to Mary and Bob Barron. I don't think they're with us here this evening, but if they're not, we'll have Peter Smith. Oh, Mary is here. Well done, Mary. Congratulations. Mary, of course, did some work with Lar on the television this year from up at Eglinton. Did an excellent job. Mary Barron, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Young Rider of the Year, Michael Duffy. Michael is son of Paul and Catherine Duffy. A rider with a very bright future. I look forward to seeing him progress right up the ranks and hopefully competing on the Aga Khan someday. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Duffy. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Rookie of the Year, Alexander Butler. Well done, Alexander. Their indoor championship in September and their international show in November ranks among the best in the country. And of course, they're always making improvements at the centre. Let's have a look at some. Let's have a look at some images from the equestrian centre. Ladies and gentlemen, the Cavan Equestrian Centre and the Clark family get the Special Achievement Award here tonight. Unfortunately, none of the Clarks can be with us, but would ask you to put your hands together and welcome Danielle Hurley, which is Mervyn's girlfriend, to come along and accept the presentation. So many congratulations to all up at the Cavan Equestrian Centre. Can we turn around for the photos? Perfect. And of course, up Cavan, up Cavan. What a great year for both riders. Let's hear it for Ger O'Neill and Gabriel Slattery, the speed champions. Gabriel, of course, had a fantastic season. Oh, there is one for you as well, Jared, don't worry. And Jared continuing his good run of form with his top-class string of horses. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for Ger O'Neill and Gabriel Slattery. Is given to one of Ireland's show jumping teams which excelled throughout the year. This year we reward the efforts of 5 riders who, along with their chef to keep, claimed a European gold medal for Ireland to add to a tally over the last number of years. This year, the Children and Horses team of Cormac Hanley, Tommy Harty, Hannah Smith, Kerry Taggart and Tim McDonough, along with their chef to keep, John Lenningham, claimed that medal. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome them on stage for the Team of the Year. So well done. The future is looking good. Cormac Handley, Tommy Harty, Hannah Smith, Kelly Taggart, Tim McDonough, and their chef to keep, the team manager, Commandant John Lenningham, our European gold medal team at the horses. Ladies and gentlemen, give them another big round of applause, please. The Team of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, our International Rider of the Year is Billy Toomey, but here to accept the presentation on his behalf is his sister, Tammy Toomey. Billy, of course, had a great run of form. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome Alexander Butler, our national champion. Ladies and gentlemen, this particular man has given so much to Irish show jumping. It is Commandant John Lenningham. So you can see Kilbaha coming home, just one fence left to go. This was to win it in a jump off.
Can I tell a little story after this?
Go on.